What's the rumpus, Tommy? I'm here, doing my Princess Crown thing, and we have headed east of Dwarfland into the tower where, supposedly, the Demon Shadow is guarding a time gem that, according to Heimdall, we can use to go back in time to before the point where Edward was killed, and so we can hopefully undo his death. First of all, we have to get our hands on the gem, though, and that means ascending this tower and probably taking on that shadow guy. Also, I can't help but notice we have the max HP of the beast. So far, there's a whole lot of nothing happening, and if memory serves, that's pretty much the story for this tower. Very little actually happens until I get to the top of it. But, you know, it's a dungeon, so we'll keep it in for the most part for navigational purposes and what have you. No fights so far. Oh, that won't do. Well, finally we got ourselves into a little scrap, but it was just a barbarian. Nothing we haven't seen many times before. Yeah, it looks like that's probably the way to go. Aside from that one barbarian, we're really coming up roses on the random encounter table here. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting in this tower to encounter, so I suppose that's just as well. Now, looking at the map, this probably has to be the right way. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any point in a staircase being there. Even if you can't see the holes in the floor, sometimes you can kind of puzzle out where they'd be likely to be. And level 5? I didn't really even need to edit that fight out. I think it only took a few seconds. Really kind of pointless to drop level 5 encounters no matter what the monster is at this point in the game. There's a level 15, which isn't much better. I believe we're almost there. Good opportunity for a little bit of inventory prep. Use our high defense pendant and a Gom scroll to keep it from being damaged. Other than that, we're pretty well equipped. Well, this here is Shadow. This is pretty much just the usual exchange of introductions. He pretty much just says that, you know, you can't have my time gem because it was given to me by the great demon Bloody, who you may recall is the demon that killed Edward. Small world, I suppose. As you might guess by the fact that he's a palette swap, Shadow is pretty much just a slightly tougher version of Skulg. He has nastier criticals, and I think he dodges more often, but other than that, it's pretty much Skulg. Skulg did give us a little trouble before, but, you know, even if Bloody is a little stronger, so are we. And I believe I do have a somewhat easier time with him. From that blender claw thing they periodically do, I don't think there's any way to avoid the second hit once you've taken the first one, even though there's a moment's pause in there. I could be wrong, though. Lord knows where my reaction time isn't brilliant. God, he's not even dropping anything interesting. Come on, Shadow, give me something to work with here. One thing I'll say for him, compared to Skulg, is he does seem to be a little more adept at stuffing your combo attempts. Now, it looks like I just sat there and took that, but I was trying to action select, and it just didn't respond. I don't know why. It may be that action selects aren't perfectly responsive all the time to magic attacks, and there's the game. Pretty much any time you fight a boss-class demon palette swap, they're going to have one of those. And just like with Skulg, there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. You just have to take down multiple health bars. Attack potion, can't hurt. Oh, 2 doses, too. Nifty. Didn't mean to equip that. What I wanted was the magic gem. Which we shall now employ correctly. Except for the whole part about not actually hitting him. I suppose you can't technically call that correct. It's too bad he can't hit himself with that. That would have been kind of cool. I suppose Shadow could be fairly tough if we weren't equipped with one of the best defensive items in the game, considering I've taken half my hit points and damage even with that, and even without getting hit by any of his criticals or such. But I am well protected, so screw it. You can stop any time, thank you. And that's all she wrote for Shadow. And Shadow pretty much says, here, if you want the time gem, I'll give it to you. It's going to send us back to an ancient time. Bummer. Meanwhile, we've got here a cutscene with Sir Quain and General Golota. And they're in the depths of Valenidine Castle. And encounter a demon. And apparently the knights are here in order to find something that Just and I said would bring about a great disaster. And they don't think the demon was it. I mean, a demon is a tough enemy, but not enough to bring about a great disaster to the kingdom. Aha. Here's a familiar book. And the book, much as we've heard it say before, says it holds the key to saving the world if only Sir Quain will take it into his hands. And Quain ain't buying it. But then Larva says, hey, what if that demon poisoned you? You might never know, and then you wouldn't be able to protect Queen Elpharon anymore. So Quain approaches like an idiot and is struck down. General Golota will have none of that, so he tries to take on the book. And it doesn't go so well for him. Yep, this is that point in the past that we've heard so much about where the general was possessed by a demon. And Golota says that the knights are better off dead because he's about to open up the spirit world and a horde of demons are going to be coming through and invading the castle. Anyway, what we have to do here is talk to a number of NPCs in order to set flags that let Gradriel know she is at a certain point in the past. We just talk about various events that were taking place to let her know when she is. I'm not sure exactly what everyone is saying here that is giving her that information, but that's the gist of it. And it takes a little work to get all the proper flags set, so I'll be wandering back and forth talking to people for a few moments. I believe there's someone we need to talk to in the pub, and we'll want to order the special anyway and get our dragon meat cooked. I have a bit of that sitting around in the inventory. Wow, that dude is shit-faced. Yeah, here's that other advancement flag I was looking for. And we'll just handle our food situation in the usual way. Cook me up some dragon steak. And it looks like the special was eggs on toast. Historical eggs. I can taste the heritage. Now, I should be able to go to the castle from here, but it looks like I must have missed somebody. It won't let you go to the castle until you've talked to all the NPCs that you need to. So I'll just make another pass through the townsfolk. Just tried to leave there and can't do that. Out of the way, lady. I'm trying to talk to Lord Viking there. We got another exclamation point. Maybe that'll do it. Nope, still not ready to go. Who'd I miss? Oh, there we go. Had to head left and get this guy to run out. He's talking about, much as General Golota warned, a horde of demons taking over the castle. No turning back. Our goal was the throne room, but at the time I was playing I didn't remember exactly what the path was to get there, so I muddled around a little bit. Oh, hey, just like we saw in the intro. Queen Elfaran is quite the ass-kicker, especially with Just and I as sword enchantment backup. I gotta say, Just and I has not aged much more in the time that it took to get up to the present. Or looking at it a different way, he didn't look much younger back in the day. Yeah, Geist armor ain't even a thing. General Golota, on the other hand, appears to be more than a match for the Queen. You know what that means. Gradriel to the rescue. And it is time to take on Evil Golota. And boy, do I not cover myself with glory during this fight. He's a pretty tough opponent, but I really should have done somewhat better than I did. As you might expect by looking at him, he's pretty much a powered-up Geist armor, but he's a really powered-up Geist armor, with quite a few additional moves. Well, let's have a chug of that attack potion. And like a dumbass, I do it again, and you see what happens when you drink a potion when you're already under the influence of one. You overdose. And not only do you take damage, you take a shitload of damage. So yeah, that was not an auspicious start at all. Oh, hey, here's a gauntlet. I can power myself up. Except it's fucking cursed. Of course it is. I get OTG'd by a double set of fireballs, and the whole thing's just going to hell here. Oh, a golden gauntlet. I bet that's cursed too, but I can't even find out because I can't take off the one I'm wearing. God damn, that's some lockdown. Wow, this shit ain't Marvel vs. Capcom 2 here. I think I was trying to action select there again and it didn't activate. As you can see, Golota is also quite good with the damage and combos. Oh, appears to be some kind of soup there. A little extra healing couldn't hurt. And of course I get hit out of my food animation, and now I am critically damaged. Thank you for that critical. Ha! Much better. I don't know why the engine is so inconsistent when it comes to letting me action select fireballs, but, oh well. I was trying to throw the pot at him there, but apparently you can't use those as projectiles, alas. God, this is horrible. Oh, by the way, I think I may have said differently before, but incorrectly. Actually, if you have a cursed item equipped during battle, the curse does leave it when you win. So, at least that gauntlet will be usable after this fight. But for now, it is causing me to do less damage. And with the way I'm playing, I certainly don't need any disadvantages in this battle. But such is life. We'll just have to roll with it. And I'll thank you to stop doing criticals every 2 seconds. I said I will thank you to stop doing that every 2 seconds. Especially when I walk right into it. God! Yeah, I was definitely not having my best day, gameplay-wise. Oh well, I hope it's at least worth a mote or two of amusement to you. Although probably not as much fun as me getting hopelessly lost and increasingly frustrated. I'm afraid this game's a little too linear generally for that. It's always fun when you get to actually use the Shoryuken for anti-air. It's fairly rare that that opportunity comes up in this game. Do not interrupt my toast! Probably didn't need that healing, but I really don't want to die at this point. It's been a while since I saved. Ha! Finally! Phew. Alright, so without revealing her identity, Gradriel expresses concern over the Queen's injuries, but Elfaran says she'll be fine and she's feeling better after seeing such a young child fight so bravely in defense of the kingdom. Justini's just going to heal us up. And it looks like Golgota's also feeling a little better, although no doubt he's a little discombobulated about his actions. And Justini and Elfaran want to know what the hell that was about, and Golgota says he was taken over by a book, and he doesn't remember anything about what happened after that. Now they want to know where the demons are coming from, and Golota reveals the location of the door to the spirit world, located in the bottom of the cave we know as Earth on True's Terra. He also tries to resign, but Elferon's just like, hey, it's not your fault, I'm not going to accept your resignation. Hey, bloody out of nowhere. And Bloody, as we know, ain't nothing to fuck with. But we can't have him killing both father and son. Especially since that would create all kinds of time paradoxes. So we're going to take him on ourselves. And Bloody is just kind of the final evolution of the Skulg Shadow Bloody chain. Just another boss class demon palette swap. Although at least he gets a unique helmet, which seems to be poking him in the eyeballs. Pretty much everything we'd expect from a boss demon. All the usual attacks, all the usual criticals, and he will have a Gimp, I believe. He's very nice about dropping daggers to poke him with. A lot of daggers. At least that'll keep him off our ass for a little while. For a little while. He also seems to like dropping partially eaten meat. Fortunately, Gradriel's not picky. Crap. Oh, bullshit. Say it again. This is not Marvel, baby. Scoops. Häagen-Dazs. Once again, the action select fails me. I don't know if my B button is going, or, well, I don't think it is, because it's working fine otherwise. I guess it's just a little wonky when it comes to dodging gem magic. Ah well, we'll roll with it. Bloody does pretty beefy damage, which we're taking the full brunt of since I didn't equip my, pendant. Partially because I don't have a Gom scroll right now and I don't want it to be damaged. Also, I didn't really have an opportunity to change equipment after the Golota fight. But we'll be fine. A little chilly, but fine. Ah! I don't know why I like hitting enemies with garbage. It certainly doesn't do much harm, but it's just enjoyable somehow. It's like a little insult throwing a shoot-up bone at them. Well, sure, now that I don't have to deal with the curse anymore, I'm getting Dispel Scrolls out the ass. Ah, Princess Crown, you can be a harsh mistress at times. Fortunately, Bloody doesn't have a whole lot left in him. One more good hit ought to do it. And there we go. Although he gets his last lick in. Bastard. Finally. Even though Bloody seems to recover very nicely, and will be back to menace us in the future, we do at least get to yoink the time gem from him. As this being in the past, this is before he gave it to Shadow. And Gradriel is going to use said gem to banish Bloody into the future. Nifty. Unfortunately, due to Golgota's Leroy Jenkins moment there, he has been warped into the future as well. Well, maybe it's not so unfortunate if you look at it from a stable time loop kind of perspective. Anyway, Just and I and Elferon just kind of talk about Golgota getting warped out there. And they also note that the demons need to be cleared out from the castle. So we'll flash forward a little bit to when all the demons are taken care of. And Elferon wants to know who this brave heroine is who's come to her kingdom. Gradriel says she can't reveal her identity, and so Elferon says, "Alright, we'll just call you the Brave Traveler, and make you a Knight of the Kingdom." So hey, it looks like Gradriel's got a knighthood and a title. Nifty. And she gets introduced to Just and I, who says that he's been researching the time gem, and would like to ask Gradriel a few questions about it. So he would like her to come to his room. And with that, Just and I takes his leave. And Elferon says that even though she has just met Brave Traveler Gradriel here, she feels like she's known her all her life. I wonder why. And Gradriel just thinks, finally I get to meet my mother. So I guess that's kind of a bittersweet moment there. Anyway, our next goal is to go to Just and I's room. There's some new NPC dialogue, I'm sure, but I don't know what most of it says, so we'll just head straight for Just and I. Whoops, that's Quain. Here we go. Just and I talks about how powerful the time gem is, and that in the wrong hands it could be disastrous. He's afraid of what'll happen if a demon gets a hold of it. So Gradriel asks if she could take it with her, because a friend of hers needs help that can only be provided by the stone. And Just and I says, okay, you're a national hero, so I guess we'll go with that. And he tells Gradriel that she only has to make the request of which time she wants to go to, and the stone will transport her there. Well, in order to activate the time gem, we will have to go to Gradriel's room. So that's our next stop. I believe that is all the way over to the right here. This should be it. And Gradriel says, Time Stone, I have only one request. Just take me back to the moments before the death of Sir Edward at the hands of the demon Bloody. And so here we are, back in the cave Earth on Truz Terra, at the time of the confrontation between those two. This time Gradriel interrupts, says, Edward, don't fight the demon, he's not affected by human swords. Edward's like, what the hell are you doing here? And Bloody now recognizes Gradriel as the girl from the past who sent him into the future. And so it's time to throw down again. This battle with Bloody is exactly the same as the other one, as far as I know. I haven't noticed any different behaviors on his part. I'm not falling for that one again. Yeah, action select seems to really be failing me with respect to successfully dodging gem magic, so I should really kind of teach myself not to rely on it when dodging that particular kind of attack. Poink! Hold still, I want to poink you again. Oh. Ah! Buddy with the OTGs. I wonder if that's actually a thing in his AI, that he has a tendency to throw 2 fireballs in a row to knock you off the ground that way. Sadly, it is beyond my skills to get into the game code and find out. He's dropping lots of ABC meat for me, that's a plus. I probably should try and equip that gauntlet. There are certainly enough Dispel Scrolls around. But it didn't occur to me at the time. Ah well. That's your ass, buddy. Except, oh wait, that's not his ass, because as Gradriel just said herself, the sword of a human is insufficient to destroy the demon Bloody. Holy balls! Well, apparently, as Edward says, the sword of a half-demon should be a little more up to the job. Edward thanks Gradriel for rescuing him and asks what she's up to now. And Gradriel says she's off to the spirit world to rescue her sister. Edward says he'll come with because it would dishonor his father to let Gradriel take this mission on alone. So at long last, the path is unguarded, and we can proceed on to the spirit world to rescue Gradriel's sister Sidriel from the clutches of the Demon King Vogrod. However, that is a story for another time. This has been Un. Thank you for joining me once again, and I'll see you next episode. Till then, take care.